Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stephanie Miller. U.S. Hunger works extremely hard to address hunger at its root causes. Today, we hear from the CEO of U.S. Hunger on how this is done and what this organization has uncovered about this issue.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. It was a few weeks ago that Life Point Church really spearheaded in the Clarksville area. Clarksville Feeds the World. Well, they had the help of two organizations. One was Convoy of Hope, the other U.S. Hunger. That brings us to our guest today. We have the CEO of U.S. Hunger. We have Rick Whitted with us. First off, thank you so much, Rick, for your time.
Absolutely. Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
What your organization does is extremely it's beautiful what they do. It's been around since 2010. How many individuals or families have you all helped since that time?
So we like to phrase it this way. Since 2010, we have eclipsed assembling more than 1 million volunteers in that time. We have, through those volunteers, packed more than 188 million meals. And those have, though mostly distributed in the U.S., have been distributed throughout 54 countries. And we do it that way because when you think about that model, that event that you saw, what we really are is a volunteer-powered food manufacturer. We put together food, and then that food is inventory. All of those meals are dispersed throughout food assistance organizations, food banks, Convoy of Hope, one of our dearest partners, and our international partner as well. And so our job is to, at no cost to those, what we call hunger heroes, is to help fill their inventory of healthy, shelf-stable meals. And that is a hard to come by item in that space.
And those would be areas like in Haiti and areas such as that?
Haiti, a year ago, we got 500,000 meals to Ukraine through Convoy. And then, of course, throughout more than 400 food banks and food pantries throughout the U.S.
Looking here in the U.S., why do we have still so many going without food or having this sort of disparity there in their home?
It's interesting. It's a good question. And while you saw our meal packing, we call Hunger Project event, we also have another programmatic arm called Full Cart. And that is a place where folks can find us. We don't advertise it because we're overrun constantly. But folks find us at Full Cart and they ask for help and they tell us what's going on. And so the pandemic in 2020 really made us pause. Prior to that, those stats I just told you, I would spout those out, proud, excited that we could really help feed that millions of people and partner with organizations who do that so well and help. But we'd never really asked, why are they hungry in the first place? And who are they? And what's going on? And we found, and I have learned since that start, that the food assistance model focuses heavily on getting food to places of famine. And that is a core construct. It's a core component. But as we found ourselves in the pandemic, unable to assemble people, unable to engage directly with the community, we turned to digital engagement. And we turned to our full cart program that we really began to flush out and use in that way. Started with 5 questions, and 4 were about how we could get food to you. And the 5th was, why would a full cart box help? That has transformed over the last now 4.5 years into a very detailed screening survey of what's known as social determinants of health, those conditions that people live in: housing, transportation, healthcare, education, that impact their overall living conditions and their overall health. And so we have graduated to a survey that really captures that type of insight, but it's still not the most important question. Still, the most important question is, how can full cart help? It's just saying what a neighbor would say. How can we help? And so you fast forward, we have nearly 250,000 of verbatim stories around what people are going through. I'm a mom. I had to leave my job. I have a high risk pregnancy. My husband and I had to take in a roommate. You know, we don't qualify for SNAP or because we make too much, but right. And we would hear all of these stories. And we have focused on developing data analytics to help understand what those stories are. And we have, for the last 3.5 to 4 years, been developing a proprietary tool that understands how to read through those and understand root causes. So, for example, we have learned out of that nearly 250,000 people that have come to us, 7 out of 10, it's about housing and economics at some level. 13%, it's about employment and unemployment. About 8% is about, kind of where they live, right? Show me your community and I'll show you how healthy you are. It's been a unique position for us because we are now able to say, not who's hungry and how many did we feed, but why did we have to feed them in the first place? And so, biggest surprise for us in that journey from 2020 to now is that it's not about food. It's never about food. If you are food insecure, meaning you don't have enough food, or you're nutritionally insecure, meaning you can't afford to shop on the outer aisle of fresh and healthy food because it's the most expensive. So whether you're food or nutritionally insecure, by the time a household reaches that stage, they have already compromised in so many other areas, making adjustments for rent or utilities or housing or transportation. Usually by the time you hit food or nutritional insecurity, you are running out of options. And so it's really not about food. And that truly is the heart of what we try to address in our mission statement, feeding families today. We do a lot of that through our Hunger Project meal packing event business, but the connecting them to a healthier tomorrow, uniting them to a healthier tomorrow, that's the data and analytics and insight that we focus on the other side of our mission strategy.
I feel education might be huge and key for these families where they can turn. How do you all help with, educating them on how to get out of where they are?
So it's interesting. That's the evolution of where this model started. Believe it or not, we have spent the greater part of the journey so far. It's the newest part of our journey as an organization, just understanding the insight. It's not captured. Most of the fight against hunger is hand to hand, neighbor to neighbor, community based, warriors. And it's excellent. It has to be done. The world would stop without it. What it does not provide is a great way to scale and capture insight and understanding and document stories, and then know how to take all of those stories and make it into something that's actionable for a local government or our state and federal government or healthcare or any corporate philanthropic partners, and we have many who really want to make a difference in the community, or faith-based organizations like those that came together in Clarksville. So, it's the data part has been a very missing part of the ingredient. And so when people have looked at food insecurity and how you fight that overall, they think food, money equals food equals help. And they also stress about that because money is not an easy commodity to combat. What we are learning is that listening and trust equals understanding. Now I know where to start. And in many of the stories of the families we connect with, the starting point is not food. Yes, I need to get them some healthy food right now because that's an emergency response. But a second and a third and a fifth and a 12th box will not solve the problem. It will help. It will be helpful, but being helpful is not the same as actually sustainably helping. And that's what we're learning. So if I send a box and I ignore that there's a utility insecurity or housing insecurity or underemployment or an illness preventing employment or transportation challenges, then I'm going to miss out on really helping. And I'm just getting them some food, which is not what's causing them to not have food. The hardest thing to really find true sustainability is collaboration. And that surprised me. I would have thought you would see everyone come together. It has to do with the ecosystem. It's not truly designed to integrate and create new ideas as one across multiple stakeholders. And as a result of that, what we tend to see is incredible work done in the community in silos. And so when silos happen, people get lost. And so someone comes to Full Cart, someone comes to you, someone comes to Clarksville Feeds the World, someone comes to, the United Way there, or the church there, or to, the food pantry there. Those groups are not interconnected. And it was just, when you think about, businesses that are really strong and successful brands in the world, they are all truly focused in on something called it's a connectiveness, and it's interoperability, our ability to be interoperable and connected amongst those vendors or other businesses or other things within the industry that allow commerce and activity and services to flow seamlessly. It doesn't exist as it's a new concept. It's a new conversation in the community-based organization space or the NGO space. It's a new concept. And so I think we have to bring that to the table. It's one of the things we are working on through one of our programs so that we are connected. Because if you and I are connected doing great work, then the neighbor we're helping won't get lost. We'll see that, and we'll be able to bring the right stakeholders together.
How can we best do that on our local level? Who needs to start that conversation? Who needs to start creating that at a local point?
Step one, we have to come together and talk. Step two, integration has to be the goal. We have to figure out, how do we integrate our systems and services together? Then we can see in real time and truly show a social ROI to our stakeholders.
Since we are based in Tennessee, how can we track the project that you have going on here in the volunteer state?
We haven't announced it out loud yet. We are getting going. I would say circle back to me in maybe 6 months and we'll tell you where we are.
That sounds great. And how can we connect with U.S. Hunger? How can we, if someone wanted to do what they did here in Clarksville Feeds the World, something like that in their community, whether it be in Tennessee or another state, how do they start that?
Go to US Hunger, one word, ushunger.org. And you go there, you'll see how you can help, right? We've got a few options for you to just click. And if you want to bring a hunger project to your town, your community, We do those 200 and almost 30 times across all 50 states. Glad to help.
It is so heartwarming to know that people are doing such incredible things and working to help each other. I have to ask you before you leave, do you still have your podcast?
How did you find that?
I did my research beforehand.
Clearly. I have, there's 100, almost 200 episodes out there. So if you've never heard me, you can start and be satisfied for a while. I am dying to get back to it. I just don't have the time and the space right now, but one of these days I'll get back to it.
Where do we need to go to find your podcast that you've already recorded?
Just go to rickwhitted.com and you'll learn all about me. But the podcast, if you have Apple, go to Apple's store and you'll find us there.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Once again, CEO of U.S. Hunger, Rick Whitted. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for this.
Thank you for having me.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
333.
Busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now I'm
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 7